Hello students. Yes, so in my last video I had explained on one of the capital market securities, which is equity shares. We have now learned how it is going to work under capital market securities, which is basically long term in nature. There is more than 1 year, and how it is being traded, and on the investment, that is in form of investing in shares. It can be preference or it can be equity. Here we have just dealt with the equity component. So in return, the investors are going to get the dividend, right? So now in today's video, I'll be explaining on the preference shares. What does preference shares talk about? You all know that there are two types of shares. One is equity and the one is preference shares. Equity is something which is the owner's fund, that I mean to say, where anything and everything belongs to the equity shareholders, isn't it? Whereas when it comes to the payment hierarchy as well, first it is for debenture holders, followed by preference shareholders, at last it is for the equity shareholders. And when it comes to the equity shareholders, the payment of dividend, it is neither fixed nor floating. I mean to say, it all depends upon the earnings what they have got. It is the profit they have got in that particular year. But when it comes to preference shareholders, to talk specifically, they are always given with the fixed rate of a dividend, right? So preference shares, they are commonly referred to the preferred stock. See, they are the shares of the company stock which holds a fixed rate of dividends, where those dividends, they are paid out to the shareholders before the common stock dividends are issued, right? So the capital that a company raises through the issuance of preference shares, that talks about the preference a share capital. The capital that a company raises through issuance of equity shares, that becomes the equity share capital. So as I said, preference shares, these shares, they come with a fixed rate of dividend and a preferential right to avail profits and the claim assets during the liquidation. They have that opportunity first, followed by the equity shareholders, who are the actual owners of the organization, right? So here, what is going to happen, those shares of the company stocks, that is in form of dividends, they are paid to the shareholders before the common stock. And if the company enters any kind of bankruptcy is there, preferred, at that time what happens, these shareholders, the preferred stockholders or the shareholders, they are entitled to be paid from the company assets before the common stockholders. I mean to say, before, if any kind of such uncertainties the company is going to face, at that time, whom it should be paid first, between these two preference shareholders, preference and equity, always it should be first given to the preference, after that followed by the equity. First goes the preference, second comes the equity. All right, so what does it talk about? See, as I said, it is also referred as the preferred stock. This is a type of share where the dividends are paid to the shareholders prior to the issuance of common stock. As I said, that common stock which is which is given to the equity shareholders. Yes, here what happens, the preference shareholders, they hold the preferential rights over the common shareholders, as I said, when it comes to the part of sharing a profit. So consequently, if a company lands to any kind of bankruptcy or any kind of uncertainty, then preference shareholders, they are issued the dividends first, right, or have the first right to the company's assets before the equity shareholders, that is the common stock investors. For preference shareholders, the dividend is fixed, and however, they don't hold the voting rights as opposed to the common shareholders, that is, I'm talking about the equity shareholders. So here what is going to happen, see, investors who have been in the stock market for longer period of time, then must go after preference share types. See, the dividend earned on these shares are significantly, of course, higher than the ordinary shares. So the popularity that which is attached with preference shareholders is that it can be established by the fact that many preference shareholders, they do not own any other stock except for this particular variety, right? So, and it's been observed actually in prevailing Indian market itself, that more and more companies coming out with different types of the preference shares, in essence, that they have traces of both equity and debt shares. For this particular angle, these shares are also categorized as the hybrid financing instruments as well. So that's how the particular preference shares are going to work. If you ask, ma'am, how it is going to actually work, how it is going to be a beneficiary, beneficial factor for that particular person who is called as beneficiary. See, the first thing is that preference shareholders, they have significantly, more heft than compared to the standard shareholders of any company, right? So they have the first rights to all dividends. See, what do I say all the time? Investment is something, it is always laid on with a basic motto of making the profits. That particular point, it is attached. So it is that, the first right to all the dividends paid by the companies, who owns it? The preference shareholders. First they own it, after that it will be given to the, for the equity shareholders. Here, one of the advantages is that, holders of these shares, they do not have any kind of voting rights, even though they have the privilege towards, getting the dividends at first. That right is there. But on the other hand, the disadvantage is that these holders, they do not have any kind of, voting rights in any business proceedings. So it falls among the major disadvantages of preferences. It might seem like a major handicap for any investor, actually, when you're not given the power to have the voting rights. However, it is precisely the reason why so many companies offer these shares. The aspect is also similar to the debenture owners as well, right? Moving further, now we have different types of, the preference shares available. Let us understand each one of them in detailed way. Fine. The first one what you have is cumulative preference shares. Now what does cumulative preference shares talks about? See, cumulative shares, they have a provision that which is going to allow the investors, to make the payment of dividends in arrears, so that it so happens that a company doesn't have the financial capacity to pay dividends to its shareholders, unless the dividends are not paid to the preference shareholders, isn't it? They cannot be paid to the common holders. In this scenario, the company decides to pay the cumulative dividends in the next year, that is in form of arrears. Sometimes the interest earned by the shareholders on arrear dividends is also given in terms of, cumulative preferred stockholders. So what you have to understand about cumulative, it is something where the shares have a provision that allows the investors to be paid the dividend. What has to be paid? That can be paid in form of arrears. And what is, and the second one is the non-cumulative preference shares. What is non-cumulative preference shares talk about? See, non-cumulative preferred shareholders, they are eligible to be paid, the dividends only from a year's profit, that is accounting period profit. So a non-cumulative preferred stock does not issue any kind of unpaid dividends to the shareholders. Neither can holders of such stock claim unpaid dividends in the future. Fine. So this is like dead opposite of the cumulative preferences. So the next step what you have is redeemable preferences. What is redeemable preferences talk about? Here, a company has the right to buy back the shares for its own use from the shareholders, at a given period of fixed date, or by giving, the kind of prior notice after a period of time. With respect to this, you have an opposite preference shares, that is irredeemable preferences, where these shares can only be redeemed by the company at the time of liquidation, or when the company wants to wind up or shut down its operations, right? This is one of the kind of preference shares. This next one what you have is participating preferences. What does it mean? See, participating preference shares is where, the company is going to issue the dividends, which pays the increased dividends to the shareholders along with the preference dividend, right? So this is done at a fixed rate. And additionally, participating preference shareholders, they have the rights on the surplus asset of the company at the time of the liquidation. This is very important. On the other hand, you have non-participating preference shares. Here what happens, the shareholders, they are entitled only to the dividends at a fixed rate and not to the surplus profit. But under participating, they are liable to get it, the surplus profit. The extra profit under the non-participating preference shares is distributed among the common shareholders, right? The last step what you have is convertible preference shares and non-convertible preference shares. Now what is convertible preference shares is all about? See here, the shareholders of such shares, they will have the privilege, that is the option, to convert the common shares to preferred shares. And these shares, they are opted by the investors who wish to receive the preferred share dividend, as well as want to benefit from an increase in the common shares. So the benefits are of twofold here. You will get the fixed returns, that is in form of the preference dividends, as well as the opportunity to earn higher return as the common stock price increases, right? So the conversion can happen within a certain period as per the prior agreement, right? Again, you will have to mention it all in the memorandum of the company. Then you have the last one, non-convertible preferences, which states that shareholders of these shares, they do not hold any kind of rights in terms of converting to issuers a common shares. Here they can't convert, but under convertible, yes, of course it can be converted. All right, so this is all about the concept of preference shares as a capital market securities traded.